Hi, my name is Anastasia Ellis, and this is my podcast, King to Be. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you want to keep updated for when more episodes come out, please subscribe and follow. Hello, I am back. I started watching a little bit of some Evolving Spiritually, one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch right now. Just because she tells you the truth, but she says it very blunt. And sometimes you do need to hear it like that. Sometimes you just need to hear the absolute honesty. And so this one was kind of going a little bit into friendships and just people that you're tied to that aren't necessarily bad or evil people or X, Y, and Z, but they're just a little behind you. And you can see where they're a little bit behind you and you want to help them reach a certain point. You see their potential, but they're just always a smidget behind, right? And that's not a bad thing at all. Let me also just reiterate that everybody goes through their emotions. Not everybody learns things at the same speed as you. Sometimes it takes people going through their lessons a few times in order for it to even just click that they were doing something wrong, right? So I want to just say that there's nothing wrong with taking your time to get to where you need to be or where you want to be. However, when you have people in your life that just kind of feel like they're weighing you down, and it feels like a struggle to be around them in certain moments, you could okay, let me just put it like this. I've got friends that are going through some shit, right? I've got a couple of friends that are going through some shit. And some of my friends want to just complain about it. And there's nothing wrong with ranting every once in a while and getting it off your chest and stuff. But when you're ranting about it constantly and that's the only thing that we're talking about, or no, maybe not the only thing that we're talking about, but it always seems to be something that we always come back around to. And I give you my advice, my opinions, I give you my support and my love and everything. And you just kind of go and turn around and do the same thing that you were doing before and then come back around and complain to me about the same shit. I'm realizing just how over it I am, with certain friends that are doing that to me. And so Evolving Spiritually was saying, sometimes you just gotta back yourself out when somebody's doing those things that you don't like. I had an instance where I'm remembering that I had a friend that was going through a lot of similar things with her family that I had gone through, right? And a lot of it was bringing up a lot of trauma for me. So I was just getting mad. I was getting upset. I was getting very invested in her drama, right? But it was draining the crap out of me, and I knew it was. And then some more stuff ended up happening in X, Y, and Z. And it just seemed like she wanted validation that she was right and her family was wrong. And some of the things, yes, her family was wrong. right? But then there are some things too where I was just like, yeah, but you shouldn't have said that either. Or yeah, but you shouldn't have done that either. Or but you also went back and did this. And maybe you should just step away, like kind of things like that where it's just like there's wrong on both sides and you know, maybe you should just stop. Right? That was my advice. But it's hard to I realized like even when I was going through all of my family stuff, it's really hard to get to that point of like, especially when it's your family, like it's hard when it's friends, but like it's so much harder when it's family and you have to realize like maybe this person isn't good for me. Maybe this person maybe I need to put up a firmer boundary with this person. If they're going to be treating me like this, if they're going to be acting like this, if they're just going to ignore the advice that I'm giving them, like, and if it's taking so much out of me, if it's taking too much of my energy. So I got to a point where I was just like, I got to focus on some of my own things right now. It's like, I was going through it with a lot of friendships at that point in time. So I was just like, I'm going to see you soon. Like, I know I'm going to be seeing you soon. So I'm just not going to talk to you for a second. I'm not going to talk to you for a second. And maybe like I'll talk to you a little bit like in texts and things and send you I love you and blah, 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 stuff like that. But I am not entertaining this family drama that you have right now because I simply just cannot. It's bringing up too much of my emotions, and I just don't want to be put back in that spot right now. In fact, I don't want to be put back in that spot at all. It's a lot of trauma to go through that. And like not that I wasn't there for her, but I also was just like I could see that she needed time to process it on her own, And I also knew too that she had a big support network around her. So I knew that like leaving her be into herself wasn't going to be bad. It wasn't going to be like, oh no, this person has nobody to talk to and I'm their only like outlet. But even if like you are that person's only outlet, sometimes you just got to be like, yo, these are my boundaries. This is how much I can handle right now. And that's not a bad thing. It's not bad to know what your boundaries are. In fact, it's a lot better to know what your boundaries are so that you don't blow up on people. And that was something I was trying to avoid. I've blown up on plenty of people, and I don't want to blow up on people that I love anymore. I'm over that. When I come to my friends, I want to come and be happy. So I'm going to figure out my shit. And hopefully you figure out your shit. So that when we get together, like maybe we do talk about some of the bad stuff, but you're not talking about it in a way where like, you're still hurt. You're not talking about it from a hurt place. You're talking about it from a reflective place, a place of understanding. But it's funny because Evolving Spiritually, Kayla was saying that, sometimes when you back away from people, when like, you're that person that they go and rant to all the time. When you back away from people, they get mad. And I definitely understand that and feel that when you're trying to like help them, but they're like, no, you're trying to act like you're better than me. Or like, I'm mad at you because like you're trying to change me or something like that and X, Y, and Z. And it's like, whoa, I'm not trying to change you or X, Y, and Z. You're coming to me with your problems. And like that's especially when you gotta be like, yo, I'm gonna take 3 steps back. You do with your shit because like one, it's not even my shit. It's not my shit. I got other issues that I gotta deal with. I got other things that I gotta sort out in my life. And if I'm doing that, you can do that with your shit too. You know? If you gotta go to a therapist to figure that shit out, go to a therapist to figure that shit out. But like, man, do not come to me like your therapist. You're not paying me 30 an hour to come and listen to your shit. You go pay somebody else. You go do that with somebody else. I am not free therapy right now. And I mean that from a place of love, though, too. I want to make that very, very clear. Like, it's not that I don't love these people. It's not that I'm mad at these people. It's that I'm drained. Point blank, period. I am drained. And, you know, if you know that you're like, if you know you're draining somebody, if you know what you're doing and what you're saying is like probably not the best to be doing all the time. You know, I'm not saying that you can't go to your friend and like get advice, rant, X, Y, and Z, right? But at the same time, you're the one that's got to make the decision of figuring that out. That's still your problem. I can't do anything about your problem. You ranting to me about your problems is not going to like, it's not going to solve anything. It might get out some energy that you need to get out. It might help you come to some conclusions that you didn't know before. But if you're not acting on like the shit that you came to conclusion about, if you're not acting like you don't have like some advice to go off of or some knowledge to go off of, if you're not acting like, you know, you don't have like you got the power to change your whole entire life, right? You got that power. So at the end of the day, I can't do anything. You got to do it. You have to be the one to do it. And I think like also just like, you know, the people on the other side where they're just like, man, I am like fatigued and I am tired of listening to everybody's shit like I'm a goddamn therapist. Like, stop. Then stop. You know? You don't need to go and talk about everybody's shit, man. That's something that like my mother used to do all the time. My actual mother. Making that one clear. My actual mother, she used to, anytime somebody had a problem or whatever, she'd be like, you see what this person did over there and da 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 da. I used to hate that so much. I used to hate it when she did that. I'd be like, no, stop that. Why are you talking about everybody else's drama? Okay? You wouldn't like it if everybody else is talking about your drama, so why are you talking about their drama? You know? And that's another thing too. Notice when you're taking on too much of other people's drama. And, you know, like, and I'm not saying, like, you know, there are people that you can spill the tea to, you know, like a person that you know isn't gonna, like, it's gonna stay contained. It's not gonna spill out into every which way and direction, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I didn't know that wasn't, that came back around to you. Oops, you know? You don't want to put yourself in that kind of position. You gotta know your right people that you can talk to about that stuff. But also just don't go around talking about everybody's shit to everybody. Because not everybody has the same intentions as you. Also, like, it makes you look a certain way too. Yeah, it makes you look a certain way. So whatever. Yeah, whatever about that shit. You know, at the end of the day, it's not your problem. So stop making it your problem. You know, when you make it your problem, you're just adding more stress onto yourself. You're fatiguing yourself even more than you need to. And yeah, it can be a little bit like, oh, but I want to know all the tea and all the shade, and I want to know all the details of what's going on with this person. No. Why? You messy ass bitch. Why do you want to know everybody's tea and drama? Why? If you really want to know about some goddamn drama and want to get invested in some drama that isn't yours, there's this thing called the Kardashians. There's Selling Sunset. There's Tiger King. There's other reality. There's Ultimatum. There's Too Hot to Handle. There's The Circle. You know, they got the television shows for these shits. Okay? You really want to get invested in somebody else's drama and talk shit about somebody else's drama? Talk about the people that are on the TV screen that are already talking about their drama to everybody in the goddamn world about their drama. Okay? You know, go online and look at enews.com and go and talk about their drama. They putting it out online anyways. Over here, like, if you look at my Instagram story, you will see that I have the receipts. Okay? Go look at that man's Instagram story. Okay? Like, stop getting invested in people's drama. Like, stop getting invested in your friend's drama. Stop getting invested in your family's drama that is not yours. Stop getting invested in your coworker's drama that's not yours. Well, maybe the coworker's drama, because sometimes coworker drama is really funny. But you don't want it to come back around to you, you know? You don't want to like end up fucking over your job because you were getting into everybody's drama, you know what I mean? You don't need that on you. Don't need that. So, yeah. I think that it's important to be cautious if you're the friend that is complaining all the time and ranting all the time about the same situation that you've been on for the past 3, 4, 5, 7 years. You know, if you are that person and you know you're that person, shut up. You know, deal with your own shit. You got a diary. There's this thing called a notebook. You should write all that shit down in a notebook and burn it. Or if you don't want to burn it, whatever. Write all that shit down and then read it over and see how crazy your mind is right now and how much you need to calm down. And I'm coming from a place of love when I say that. Like, you got to deal with your own shit. Yes, I get it. It's so much easier when you can talk to somebody about it. That's what a counselor's for. That is what a therapist is for. And if you can't afford that, then, like, you know, in small doses, talk to people, but do not just go and like talk people's ear off about it every single day, every week, every month, every year. Don't do that. It drains people, you know? Don't do that. You know, if you got to go and like get some advice, get the advice. If you got to go and rant for a second, say, hey, you mind if I rant for a minute? I just got to get something off my chest, bestie. You know? Okay, fine, bestie. Go ahead. Rant off. Go off. Give me all the tea, shade, and pink lemonade, you know? Fill my cup. You know? Like, if you gotta do that, do it. I'm not saying that that's bad. But what I am saying is that, like, if you keep repeating it and you ain't learning a lesson from it, you ain't taking anything from it. You just complaining to complain. Don't. It's draining. Not just for your friends or your family, but also for you. It's like, man, that shit's draining. You're still on the same argument that you had with that person, and that happened like 5 years ago. Damn. Calm down. Why are you still on that? You know, you're over here talking about the same thing again. Why are you still on that? Get off of it, you know? Just get off of it. You don't have to talk about the same things all the time, you know? Yeah, I needed that. Because, like, even, even with me, I'm like, I've definitely, like, fallen culprit to it where I'm like, damn, I need to do something. Like, I need to, if I don't talk about this right now, it's just going to keep surfacing in my brain, right? But like, I also don't need to like continuously go to people only when I'm upset, when I'm sad, when I got a crisis happening in my life, you know? And I was definitely that person for a second, but it's not good for either person. So, sometimes you just gotta like take a second, reflect, and be like, what am I doing to get myself out of like this situation that's still bothering me? What am I doing to like right this wrong? What am I doing to make this situation better? And if the answer is nothing, then go back to what what your friends are telling you. Think a little bit, go off of your intuition. What do you feel? You know, what do you feel like you should do? You don't know what to do, meditate on that shit. Sit down, really think about, like where you went wrong, where they went wrong, and what you got to do to get yourself out of that situation. Easier said than done, but you got to do it. It's easier if you do it instead of going and ranting to your friends constantly. Because what does that do? Nothing. It just drives a wedge between you and your friends. Constant complaint. Oh, did I do this? Am I a bad person if I did that? Am I a bad person because this and that and yada, yada, yada? No, not just stop. Stop asking those questions. Like, stop it. If you're asking that question, then the answer is probably yes, because you're already thinking it. If you think, am I a bad person because of this? How do you feel about it? I feel bad because I did it. Okay, well, you feel bad. Doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person, but that doesn't mean that you made a mistake and you need to own up to it, I know I'm just kind of like going off and ranting a little bit myself. But like I said, I kind of needed it myself. But I'm over here ranting to my phone right now, I'm over here ranting to my phone. Yes, it'll probably go up on the socials and the medias, but I'm also staying very vague too. I'm not gonna let everybody in on my tea, my shade, and my pink lemonade, because honestly, y'all fuckers don't y'all be snooping and doing things a little bit too much. So like, especially the people that know. They'd be like, ooh, I'm gonna put all this stuff together about Anastasia because Anastasia da 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 da, and she said this, so that means it must be about this person, and she stopped saying this, so that means that she probably done with that person. Like, just y'all be doing so much. Y'all be doing the most. Okay, so that's why I'm gonna stay vague. I'm gonna stay vague. But like the people that know, that's just kind of what it is. With that being said, like, protect your energy, write it down in a diary, get a therapist, sort it out, take the advice that you need, get whatever you need off of your chest, and once it is off of your chest, get it all out while it's fresh and hot out the kitchen. No, I should stop. No, we don't need to R. Kelly nothing. Get it all off your chest while it's fresh and hot. Okay? All off your chest then, so it doesn't leave no burn scars on your chest. You don't want that. Come on. Why you purposely burning yourself? Why you still leaving that on your chest? Okay? Take it off. And then deal with it. Do what you need to do. Take the next steps. I promise you it'll be easier than continuing to rant about the same person for like the next 20 years. Because some of y'all be on it for like that long. Y'all be on it for a long time. person died and you still on it. Oh God. Okay, let me get off here before I start spilling too much tea. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope whatever I said in this sheds a little bit of light for you. Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.